Number one, are you with the subject? Is your heart is with the subject or not? Good study material availability. Third one, a good faculty. Go by these considerations and select. History optional subject syllabus is vast. That's absolutely a myth. The moment you see the question, don't ever try to answer. Take at least 30 seconds. Underline the segments, important segments of the question. What are the components of the question? Then draft the synopsis in another 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points are there, synoptic note. Then you go for answering it, your pen will not get stopped. Okay, don't get carried away by your websites and the interviews of the toppers and all that. Okay, there are no shortcuts for civil service. Only industry, hard work matters. Nothing can substitute industry and hard work.
Hello and welcome to this special session brought to you by VisionIAS. In this session, we're going to discuss this initiative of VisionIAS, which is VisionIAS History Optional program. And to enlighten us, today we have with us an eminent faculty member of VisionIAS, who actually needs no introduction, Seenaiah Sir. Welcome, sir. So, let's start this discussion with this basic question: why history is a very important and popular subject when it comes to choosing optionals?
When it comes to civil's preparation, history is the subject with a vast scope touching upon every aspect of civil's syllabus. I mean, whether it is sociology, anthropology, or the most popular nowadays, public administration and political science, international relations. They are all connected to the subject history somewhere or the other. You cannot study them without referring to history. So this is the subject with such a vast scope entering into every field, each and every optional, each and every aspect of our preparation. That's one reason why history has become very popular. Consideration number one. Secondly, practical consideration is what? No other subject gives you this much advantage. Advantage in the sense, practical consideration. In gender studies prelims, you have 1/5 of the paper and history only. Minimum of 12 to maximum of 21 questions you get to straight from history. In the mains, you have in gender studies paper 1, Indian culture, modern India, post-independent India, and world history. A minimum of 75 to 90 marks there. Which optional is giving you that advantage? That's the reason why you see, a bit candidates with a bit of sagacity, level-headed and balanced nature, they think about taking history as optional. Because, and other important thing I should say here, essay or writing any answer in any part of gender studies, the background of that particular question and the particular topic, historical background, is very much required. So a history optional student has the advantage of a overall perspective, a overall opinion of what that he is writing. That's the reason why people's choice is history as one of the most popular optional.
So the next question is, if somebody wants to choose history as the optional subject, are there any prerequisites?
Are there any?
Prerequisites, I mean, a person needs to understand this or that, or some basic.
No, prerequisites, see, for any optional, number one, whether a candidate is really interested in the subject or not. Three things I constantly tell our boys, our girls preparing for civils. Number one, are you with the subject? Is your heart is with the subject or not? Are you really interested in the subject? Interest makes the difference. Okay, all are not fit to take history optional, simply because it is scoring or by any other consideration. First thing, are you really interested? I will quote the examples, living examples, some of our students I interacted with. One Malayali girl, I don't want to name her, one Malayali girl, she had taken Hindi as her optional. Okay, Malayali taking Hindi optional, but she got the highest Hindi mark. She said, sir, the subject is, it's part of my life. I love the subject. Similarly, one of our boys with, economics as option got into the top service. English literature, her love, one of the students. Okay. She made it into top service with English literature. So what matters here finally is interest matters, number one. Secondly, okay, good study material availability. Third one, a good faculty. Go by these considerations and select. Okay, not that by hearsay or by, going by the topper's interviews, that topper fared very well with one particular optional, that shall be your optional. Don't ever, commit a grave mistake like that. Don't get carried away by websites. Don't get carried away by toppers' interviews. I am cautioning you people. You have to decide whether that particular option suits your temperament, interest or not. Right? All are not, qualified and eligible for history optional. Some people, I tell them, go by your own background. For engineering, some of the technical graduates are there. Okay, they can definitely perform very well in technical subjects, their geography, for instance. Similarly, you have background of anthropology, medicine you have done. Go for, anthropology as your optional. Don't come to history. Okay. So finally, your success matters for us. So a student coming out with the choice to take history as optional, he must think first whether he has that inclination for the subject or not, number one. Secondly, availability of study material. Thirdly, more than this, very important thing I am telling you, you must see the past question papers. Some people, they are sitting in the class, understanding the concept very well. Quickly, they are making up their mind. This is my subject, I can perform well. That goes altogether wrong. You must see past question papers. Are you in a position to answer them or not? An analytical perspective is very important, particularly for history students. He should be in a position to see both the sides of the coin. I mean, the positive and the negative side of the chapter, or the personality, or the concept. Okay, this attitude is very important. You will cultivate it when you go through the past question papers. It's not difficult.
So, as for every optional subject, there are certain myths associated with history. First of all, it's a very vast subject. And second, only those who have their graduation background in history, they should go for it. Would you like to say something to burst the myths associated?
There's a myth. History optional subject syllabus is vast. That's absolutely a myth. The problem is you have so many contents. Looking at the contents, you are under the impression that the syllabus is vast. Did you ever count the topics? Part 1, 12 chapters. Questions, you are getting 10 questions. Are 10 questions from 12 chapters? How do you say syllabus is vast? I will tell you how it is not vast again. Part B, paper 1. Part A, Ancient India, 12 chapters, 10 questions. Part B, Medieval India, 12 chapters again, 10 questions. Then go to paper 2. There again you have 12 chapters. 12 chapters, 15 questions. Then part B, World History, 12 chapters. There again you have 10 questions. So almost all 100% choice is there. Okay. So how can you say syllabus is vast? Number one. Second important thing is this: many people have not understood it and observed it. Some of our faculty members also, I tell them, okay, say this to the boys. What? Number one, in the syllabus, they went on repeating the same topic, making the syllabus look very vast. For instance, Alberuni, India. Chapter 6, Alberuni, India. Chapter 11, again, Alberuni, India. There is no need for you to repeat the same thing. See? Then again you see formation of temple architecture. How many times you repeat the same topic, temple architecture, temple architecture, temple architecture? It's the same temple architecture. Role of temple, role of temples, role of temples, role, 3 times role of temples repeated. Shankaracharya, Tamil Vaishnava movement, Tamil Bhakti movement, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya. Again same Tamil Bhakti movement, Adi Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya repeated. So this constant repetition of the topics definitely makes you look, the syllabus is very vast. Unfortunately, you are not applying your mind and look at into the, what you can call it as meticulous, empirical part of the syllabus. If you look at it, it is definitely not vast. You remove the repeated topics, then you see. It is very much concise. And another important thing I am telling you, what is syllabus, my dear? You please tell me. History syllabus is nothing but social, economic, political, religious history. If you divide it into 4 heads, okay, where is vastness here? Okay, so problem is you don't know the technique and you don't have the perspective to look at it. 3 prominent dynasties of ancient India, Maurya, Gupta, Pallava, Chalukya, bas finished. Questions are centered around them. And another area is prehistoric cultures. I call it Paleolithic, Neolithic, Mesolithic, Indus Valley, Vedic, bas finished. That is ancient India. Delhi Sultanate and Mughals, medieval India. And you have art, architecture, cultural history, different. So divide it into different segments and you look at it, it's very simple. Okay, you are getting simply carried away by the contents. These many contents are there, so the syllabus is vast. Oh, correct nahi hai. Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing, you asked about the second part of your question.
That only from people, those who have their graduation subjects, history.
No. In fact, our experience had shown the non-history background students fared extremely well than history background students. The reason is also this. Non-history background students, they study it out of interest. These history background students have studied it. There is nothing called enthusiasm in them. A sense of overconfidence is also there. That's where they get lost. Okay, whereas non-history background student, he is very much involved. Some of our boys who got wonderful marks, they are not history background students, they are engineering graduates. Okay, so this is not a correct idea that only the subject suits for history background students. That's not. It may help them to frame a very good answer, but when it comes to performance, finally involvement matters. Involvement, you can see, okay, non-history optional students getting more involved than history optional students.
Now let's talk about the scoring part of the subject. Some people believe history is not as scoring as other optional subjects. So what is your take on that?
Then what is the other options that is really scoring well? I tell you, the trend is, at one time, everyone talked about Pabad given a death blow. Afterwards, someone made popular psychology. Where is psychology today? So the point here is, whichever is becoming popular, remember, UPSC will see that subject is slaughtered. They won't encourage it dynamically. Deliberately, they won't encourage it. So history is the one subject constantly. However bad you perform, you are definitely confident of minimum of 30 to 35%. However exceptionally good you are, okay, you are definitely confident of getting 50 to 51 toppers range. So this consistency I don't see in any other subject, except of course political science and international relations. These 2 subjects are consistently performing well. So this is not right to say that it is, not scoring. Not scoring because something is wrong with you. okay, not with the subject. That's a misnomer. It's a misconception amongst the candidates that some subjects really do very well. Okay, it is not, to the best, experience of mine. Okay, that it is not correct way of looking at it. It all a lot depends upon how you answer the question.
So I already talked about the relevance of the subject history, which is going to help the aspirants to cover many portions of general studies. Now let's come to this important question, like what is the way to start preparing for history as an optional subject? What are the right sources?
Right to source, no better source than your faculty. This is what I advise to our boys and girls in our class also. First, you see the faculty, how he is handling the topic. When we handle, faculty in vision, when we take up the class, it is for prelims come mains. A chapter, how it is important for prelims. Same chapter, how it is important for the mains. So we are giving here perspective. You must get the perspective first. Then you see the notes, what that he is dictating in the class. Get a mastery on that first. Then you go for established sources. Established sources, I mean the NCRTs and the selected list of the sources we prescribe for history optional students. But then the other thing is, then you realize that your, what that input you are given by the faculty is more relevant than these sources. Got the point? So this is the way. First you follow the faculty first. Okay, try to understand the way he is imparting the concept. Try to understand how he is handling the questions first. That itself is the training. Yes.
Also, the amount of time that an aspirant needs to devote to complete the syllabus along with the GS subjects, what would be the most appropriate time? Like how many months or weeks?
No, actually it all depends on how much time you are able to spare and how much time you are able to involve in the preparation. Some people give lot importance for one segment of general studies or the other. They may not give more than 3 hours or 4 hours a day. Doesn't matter. What we say is consistency is very important in the preparation. Say at least 2 to 3 hours a day. 2 to 3 hours a day. And that to scoring part, I am telling you, just half an hour a day, every day half an hour. Concentrate on map pointing. Because that is going to change the entire thing. Game changer is map pointing. Half an hour a day. Geographical zone wise. Okay, Indus Valley zone, see the sites, important sites. Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Chalcolithic, Megalithic. This is what that in fact we have done in our Abhyasa program, in Vision. And it proved exceptionally good. Okay, so you require a good perspective of the preparation. Accordingly, you start preparing every day. Spare at least half an hour to 1 hour for short note questions and map pointing, and then continue it for the remaining part of optional. You must have your own plan. Don't go by others' planning. Okay, you develop your own plan, devote the time accordingly. I must say 45 to 50 days is enough for a serious student.
Now, sir, coming to the answer writing part, many people believe one has to write lengthy answers, or some people actually do that, and they find it difficult to keep their answers short. So, what would be your advice?
Where is the scope, first of all, for a lengthy answer? There, the line is drawn. Don't cross the line. There is no place for you to show your proficiency in UPSC. That's why I keep telling our candidates, okay, read less, think more. Conceptually be clear. There is no point in reading quite extensively and getting lost in the preparation. You don't know where to begin and where to end the answer. The questions are so lengthy and you have to answer all the questions. Okay, where is the scope for you to expand the answer? So for every topic, there are key areas, 4 to 5 points are there. Get a good command over them. Let UPSC hold the exam even in the midnight. You must be in a position to answer the question. Come to that level of preparation. Let them give any questions. And this becomes more so very easy, and you love the exercise when you go through thoroughly the past question papers. When you complete the past question papers at a stretch, you will feel so confident. Let UPSC give any question, you are there to answer it. Unfortunately, you are not doing that. That's where the problem starts. Okay. And framing, actually, I will advise everyone, I am doing this also, think this opportunity. The part that a very important part is, crucial part is, the moment you see the question, don't ever try to answer. Take at least 30 seconds. Underline the segments, important segments of the question. What are the components of the question? Then draft the synopsis in another 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points are there, synoptic note. Then you go for answering it, your pen will not get stopped. The lack of this planning, okay, that obstructs your answering pattern, and it spoils your structure. Okay. And another important thing, when these are the questions boys are asking. Sir, shall we to give a sentence-wise framework or paragraph-wise framework in the answering? It depends upon the question that is asked. See, for instance, is 100 words. There you don't have much time and much space, go for sentence based. 150, 200 words, then arrange that in the paragraph. And every paragraph must start with the important sentence of the paragraph. No examiner, my dear, I am telling you boys, I am addressing you, I am telling you, no examiner reads the paper, patiently. They simply, make a glance and, gasp for some important jargon wording. That is very important. That's why you underline the first sentence of your paragraph. Okay, when you underline the first sentence of paragraph, I definitely get the impression that the whole paragraph is about the same point. I don't have to read it. You are making the task of the examiner very easy. Okay, by looking at your answer, I can definitely assess you very promptly, accurately. So this is the way to prepare the answer part. One must be very, very conscious about time limit. Judicious distribution of time is a must, and that comes over a period of time with good practicing. You cannot expect it overnight to become a perfect in that.
Now, as you have already cited the importance of a teacher, so let's directly come to this question. The salient features of this VisionIAS history program. Could you please tell us about the salient features of this program, sir?
The salient features I have already highlighted, I think. All of our faculty members here, we are conscious of one thing. This is prelim cum mains. So a topic, how you have to present it for prelim, and the same topic, how you have to look at it for the mains. This is a part of our curriculum, and these are part of day-to-day exercise, number one. Next, number two, you have, for every topic, the topic is followed by periodic tests. So evaluation is done. You have a consistent mentorship is also there. Okay, and highly qualified mentors are available for you round the clock. Then what else you require? Right? And our pattern, that Abhyas program, what we are conducting every year, is of very high standard and par with UPSC. So, what is required from UPSC point of view, we are thoroughly updated for that. No second thought about it.
So, could you shed some light upon the duration of the course and the estimated number of lectures and all that?
Estimated number of lectures for history subject. Estimated lectures you see for ancient minimum of 35. Ancient and medieval culture, political history. Same more or less like 35 to 40 for modern. 15 to 16, we are taking maximum of 18 for world history. And post-independent India, another 14 to 15. This is the number of classes, schedule of classes we are allocating for the subject. Okay, so it's going on. More than enough.
Is there anything that you would like to add, or we can move to the last segment of this session?
No, this is maximum. You cannot go beyond that. Not required also.
Now, coming to the last segment of this session, sir, could you please cite the example of any particular student of yours who actually adopted a very solid, or you can say smart strategy to finally excel in this exam?
I will quote you specifically. I'll name the mention. I'll mention the names also. Yeah. There's one a senior IAS, very senior. Now I think he's retired also. When I joined the service at the age of 22. Then we used to talk about him. His name Radha. This gentleman Radha failed in prelims quite number of times. 8, 9 times he failed in the prelims. Last attempt or before last attempt he got into IAS. The reason for his success is consistent, writing practice. He got, in fact, I'm telling you, the highest ever scored mark, 210 in the old pattern, 420 out of 600. That means nearly he got to 70 to 80%. No one got it like that. He is been rewarded on par with maths, physics students in his performance. Okay. He's a history optional. And another candidate, Ravichandran, now is a principal secretary. Okay. He's also a history optional. He's fascinated by the subject. That's why I say interest is very, very important in whatever the subject you take. Thoroughly fascinating and brilliant in application of the subject to the current times. No. He is fascinated by character Napoleon, particularly. So his involvement, it made him to crack the top service, and get into his cadre, own state cadre. And there is another guy called Ravi Shankar, Shiv Shankar, Maharashtra cadre. He is from a very humble background came from, and he is totally involved in the subject. He also got all India 43 rank and with a history optional. So there are so many people who say that we listen to the class, we follow the notes, and we constantly go for practicing. Practicing makes you perfect. There's no other. And don't get carried away. Time and again, I'll give this advice to the candidates preparing. Okay, don't get carried away by your websites and the interviews of the toppers and all that. Okay, there are no shortcuts for civil service. Only industry, hard work matters. Nothing can substitute industry and hard work. I have seen the people who failed 10th twice cracked into the top service. It's only because of their involvement and interest in the subject. That makes the difference.
So already you have advised so much. One final message for the students or aspirants who want to take history as the optional subject. One final message.
My message is this: history as an optional is fantastic choice. Choice as it has advantages of its own. Disadvantage, people think syllabus is vast. Don't get carried away by that. Okay, you can do it. Do an assessment on your own. There are very often repeated concepts making the subject look very vast. Actually, it is not vast. It is more concise. It is revolved around political, social, economic, cultural, and religious history. That's all. 5 segments of the syllabus. Okay, and the 5 same segments continue over a period of time. That makes you people feel that the syllabus is very vast. In reality, it is not. Okay. If we still have a doubt, okay, that whether I can cope up with history or not, then don't come to history as option. Unless you are convinced, don't enter into the subject. For getting convinced, go by practical considerations and the experience of the students, former students who had done with the same optional. Okay. Time and again, you must see what I told you, past questions, and feel confident whether you are in a position to answer them or not. That is going to decide. If you are convinced about it, then come to the subject. Otherwise, don't get into the subject.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and your valuable advice. So, dear viewers, I hope you all enjoyed and liked the session. I don't think there could be any guidance session better than this, what sir told you. So, try to make the most of it. Get registered. You'll find the descriptions related to this particular course in the description box, the details. So, get registered. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity, and all the best. All the best for you.